Hello, everyone. Welcome to our admissions webinar on budgeting through law school. Thank you so much for joining us, and good afternoon. My name is Megan Matson. Some of you already know me from the webinars or from stopping into campus. I'm an admissions counselor here at Florida Coastal. Today, we're going to be talking about budgeting through law school. So we have had a prior webinar on some of the ways to get prepared for law school and financing your legal education. Today is going to be a little bit more focused on what to do once you're already in law school and you've made that big decision. Now you're going to start thinking about what to do during those 3 years to really help yourself budget and be financially responsible. So if some of you can just type in the sidebar, let me know where you're from, how broad of an audience we have today, and let me know that you can hear me. That would be fantastic. Perfect. Good. We've got Brandon from West Palm Beach, Naylene from Virginia, Ella is from Tallahassee, Florida, Jupiter, Florida, Columbus, Ohio, Georgia, Illinois. Awesome. New Jersey, Indiana, Atlanta, Georgia. Great. We have such a wide variety today. That's fantastic. So welcome to all of you. I'm really glad you can join us. Our presenters today are Melissa Mack, who is a financial aid counselor, and she's going to be discussing the budgeting and loan information, things that you can consider going into your second and third year and some of the changes you might need to make in your budget or your finances. And then after that, we'll have Lisa Desai from our academic success department, and she's going to discuss some of the costs associated with the bar exam and how thinking about the bar exam early and preparing for that can really help you financially as well. I know that's scary, and some of you are just starting this fall, and others are still considering whether you want to start law school or not. So the bar exam is way down the line, but it's important to think about those things early. So we'll go ahead and get started with Melissa, and I will pull up her slides here. Bear with me as she joins us, and I'll turn it over to her.
Thank you, Megan. Hello, everyone. I'm going to talk about budgeting and loan information as Megan discussed. I am one of 3 financial aid counselors here. By all means, I'm hoping that this information is helpful, but please feel free to send any questions you may have regarding it. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is why is budgeting important. So you want to ensure that you don't spend money you don't have. You want to shed light on bad spending habits. You want to prepare for emergencies, and it gives you a peace of mind. And budgeting and financial aid is extremely important because you will be given a stipend to live on. And so you want to make sure that you manage it accordingly. And so when emergencies does pop up, you have the funds there available for you. And a budget, as you may have already know, because I'm sure hopefully most of you are doing a budget already, it consists of your income and your expenses. And so you want to know, where does my money come from? You know, does it come from your job? Does it come from your savings? Does it come from federal student loans, such as scholarships? Some of you may have been offered loans or the work study program, or some of you getting parent support or other means of income that you may have. So for today, we're going to focus on federal student aid as far as where your stipend will be coming from. And so here I'm going to give you an estimated tuition cost. And this is just based on one term for the fall semester only. So as a full-time student, you can take up to 13 to 16 credits. And your tuition for that will be $21,145. There's general fees of $1,165. And there's your Student Bar Association dues of $55 for a total of $22,365 per semester. And then keep in mind, this is just for the fall semester only. It's not for the complete academic year. So your estimated cost of attendance for the fall semester, here's your tuition again. Tuition and fees is $22,365. We're allotting you room and board expense for $5,485. Travel expense, book expense, miscellaneous expense, and your bank fees. Some of you may have already completed your interest counseling session where it talks about your bank fees because the lender will take out an origination fee. So like for your unsubsidized loan, they're going to give you a gross amount. Once they take the fees away from that, they're going to send a net amount. So for your estimated cost of attendance is $34,015. Okay? Keep in mind, tuition and fees is $22,365. The rest of this cost of attendance is including your living expenses. So your estimated financial aid award notice that we would send out to you would consist of your unsubsidized loan, which is $10,250 per semester. And this is just an estimate, okay? Some of you may have gotten the Governor Merit Scholarship for an amount less than this. I just threw $10,000 on. So let's say you got the Governor Merit Scholarship for $10,000, and you're going to apply for the Federal Grad Plus loan for $13,765. It equals your cost of attendance of $34,015 that you probably remember from the previous slide. $34,015, your tuition and fees and your living expenses. We cannot exceed this number with your total financial aid that you're being awarded. And as I talked about earlier with those fees, here's your unsubsidized loan for $10,250. The bank's going to take out an origination fee of 9.98932%. So they're only going to send us $10,141. Your Governor Merit Scholarship is going to be $10,000. Those fees are coming from that. And then your Grad Plus loan, once the fees are subtracted, you're going to receive $33,316. Okay, so again, the gross amount was $34,015. We're going to receive $33,316 minus your tuition and fees of $22,365, giving you a stipend of $10,951 per semester to live on. This is what you're going to have to budget with. So what do you do? What do you spend your money on? Do you spend it on your living expenses? Is it cell phone, your tuition and fees, your internet expense, books and supplies? And these are just some things I threw out there, you know, entertainment. Some students want to go and buy new gadgets, but you have to consider, what are you spending your money on? So that $10,951 that we're going to award you to live on, you need to spend it accordingly. And you want to get organized. You want to collect all your financial aid paperwork. So whatever we give you here in financial aid, any information that you apply for online, you want to put all of that into a binder. You want to put it in a folder. You want to keep it. You want to organize everything that you're receiving. You want to collect your pay stub, bank records, keep your financial aid award notice, you know, your utility bills, your rent receipts. All of that you want to be organized. So you want to know where your money's going, where you're spending your funds. You know, when you compare your needs and your wants, we know your needs are going to consist of like food and housing and tuition and books. These are the things that you have to have. Your wants are eating out. Do you have to have cable TV? Do you have to have an iPod? Do you have to have that new CD, you know, video games, wireless internet? I included that because, you know, here at the school you can come and use the computer here, or different places you can go that have wireless internet to use it. So you can save money here as one. So consider your spending with your needs and your wants. And you may think, how and where do I begin? You know, creating that budget requires three things. Again, you want to understand where your money goes. You want to evaluate your current spending, and you want to track your spending. And that's by being organized, by collecting everything that you have that you received your money from. And tips for success, you want to watch out for cash leaks, such as ATM machines, for example. You know, if you're not using your own banking institution, let's say you bank with Bank of America, but you go to Wells Fargo to receive money, withdraw money from their ATM machine, they may charge you $3.50 just for that process. And if you go there more than once a week, that's a cash leak. You know, that money's leaving your account. You're not realizing that at that point. You know, spending beyond your limit is dangerous. You don't want to do that, because you're going to run out of funds and you can't pay the bills that you have that you need to pay. Beware of your wants dressed up as needs. You know, we all want that good old coffee from Starbucks, but do you really need it? You want to be careful of that. And I always say pay yourself. You always want to make sure that you have a budget, and you want to, you know, have it for your own self. Is it 10% of the money that you're receiving, just so that you can budget it accordingly, and that's just spend that amount. So we're going to talk about adjusting your second and third year loans. Okay, so after your first semester, we talked about your stipend, what you're going to receive, the max amount you can receive in your loan. We're going to talk about coming here for the second and third year and how that may change a little bit. So each semester, a student is given a cost of attendance, like we talked about in the previous slide, which was $33,465. That's your cost of attendance, your tuition and fees and living expenses. And you can apply up to your cost of attendance with your financial aid, such as your unsubsidized loan, your Grad Plus loan, your scholarships, loans, or work study. Okay, so here, your cost of attendance, I changed it, is $34,365. That's just for your second year. Your estimated financial aid, again, is your unsubsidized loan for $10,250. I'm saying now you're getting a new Dean Merit Scholarship. Before you had the Governor Merit for $10,000. You know, after your first year ended, your GPA did extremely well, that you were offered a new Dean Merit Scholarship for $13,500. And let's say now you want to do work study for $3,200 that you can earn per semester. Your Grad Plus loan went from $13,000 to now $7,415, which is awesome. So you want to work on doing really extremely well in school because you want free money. You want the new Dean Merit Scholarship. You know, that based on your cumulative GPA and where your academic standing is within your class that you came in with. So now your total financial aid is $34,365, which equals your cost of attendance. Okay, so you always want to consider how much you're borrowing to pay for college. You know, borrow the smartest way possible. Your Merit Scholarship work study program can help offset the amount you need to borrow. So keep that in mind. And in regards to work study, it's a regular job, so you have to work it to earn the funds. It's not going to be given to you in advance. Okay, it's $10 an hour, and you can work up to 20 hours a week for the work study program, and it's a 16-week period. So why save? You may want to save money to prepare for bar-related expenses. You want to save for unexpected expenses and emergencies, and you want to borrow less loan each semester because the loans add up. It really, truly does. And you want to know where your money is going, so you want to always budget accordingly. Okay, and I can't stress that enough because we have students, we give them their stipend, which is $10,951, and if they don't budget that amount, you know, you want to budget from September, and I always tell students to budget to January, okay, because you don't want to run out of money too early, too soon. And I'm just giving you some resources here that you can go to. There's a Federal Student Aid Budget Calculator, and here's some free on-site sites that you can go to, such as mint.com, feedthepig.com, and budgetsimple.com, which is really extremely good. Any questions with anyone? Okay, I am now going to turn it over to Lisa.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa Desai, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the bar exam. So the very first thing I want to talk to you about is bar exam costs, and you're probably wondering, why are we talking about this already? Well, we're talking about it now because it's costs you're going to incur in 3 years, and the 3 years go by very, very quickly, and often students tell us, oh my gosh, I didn't know I needed so much money. So let's talk a little bit about what the costs are. So the very first cost you have is the commercial bar course. Everybody takes a bar course after 3 years of law school. It's similar to medical school. They do the same. And there's different vendors that offer you slightly different materials. And that's going to cost you between $1,500 or even up to a little over $3,000. So you want to make sure you're putting money aside every single month for that cost. And some of our students even recommend to their family and friends that they give them money towards that at graduation and during gifts and holidays. And it's something you may want to consider. Bar application fees. Depending on what state you're going to, the fees can be substantially more than other states. So if you think you know what state you're going to, I recommend you go to the Board of Bar Examiners website for that state and look up what the fees are. And you want to be putting that aside as well. To give you an idea, in Florida, we have fees for the bar application, the laptop, as well as the fingerprinting fee. So for Florida, the laptop fees, if you just want to use your laptop, your own laptop on the actual bar exam, it's going to cost you $125. If you do have to get fingerprinted for the state of Florida, and that's $56.50, but those are not even the actual bar application fees. So the bar application fee, depending on when you actually do your application, and I'm going to recommend, and we're going to talk about the 1L application that you do, it can be up to $1,000. So those are in addition to the $1,000, and those are fees for the state of Florida. Now, the state of Florida does give you an opportunity to spend less money, and when you're doing that, it can cost you you have about $400 or $300 savings, I should say, from your other classmates essentially who wait. So you're looking at $1,000. That's not including the $125, and that is also not including the fingerprinting fee of $56.50. Also, what you need to think about, and people don't, are the travel fees. So for the state of Florida, for our bar exam, we hold it in Tampa twice a year. The bar exam happens throughout the United States everywhere in February and July, the last consecutive Tuesday and Thursday. And some of your states may actually have 3 days exams. You want to know that as well to determine what your cost will be on your actual hotel fee. But hotels in Tampa for the state of Florida go about $300 a night. When you're driving there on Monday and you have the exam on Tuesday and Wednesday, at a minimum, you are incurring at least 2 nights. And I always recommend students stay that night of the bar exam and not drive on Wednesday night. So you're looking at Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, at maybe $300 a night. That's almost $1,000 right there. And I'll tell you, a lot of these vendors also know the bar exam's coming and you don't have a lot of options and you want to stay close to where the exam is being given, that they charge for parking, they charge for internet and a few other things. So you want to know that as well. What about travel plans? So, are you driving? Are you flying? Accounting for gas, flights. And then food while you're at the bar exam. Most likely you're not going to want to leave your hotel, and most likely that's probably not the cheaper of meals either. So to know kind of what you need for the actual bar exam. So when do you want to start putting money away? Now. We've already talked about your commercial bar course that you take could be $3,000 plus. We talked about hotels maybe being $1,000. Your bar exam application fee potentially being $1,000 for the fee and not including those other fees like laptop, fingerprint. We're already looking almost at $5,000 to $6,000. So you want to be putting monthly stipends away for yourself to know that those fees are going to be incurred later and to make sure you already have them put aside. So when should you do it? Now, but can you start saving? You also can save money on doing it early as well. So Florida actually has a 1L application. So for those students who enter, law school graduates, they can actually do their laptop fee, and I have the actual date somewhere, earlier to the extent that it saves them money. So if you would pay $100 up front for those students who commence the study of law in August or September, and who file their registration bar application fee, that's your 1L bar application, by January 15th, you pay $100 up front. And then what's going to happen is you would then convert. When you get into your 3rd year, you'd convert your bar application, and then you'd pay an additional $600. So if you choose to do that early bar application fee by that January 15th deadline, if you start in August or September, you actually save $300 on your actual bar exam costs. That's a huge savings, and I recommend you do it. $300 doesn't sound like a lot, but as I just mentioned, that's a night at the hotel. So I would consider doing that. It also starts spreading out those other fees. When you do your 1L bar application, you're going to pay for that fingerprinting right there. So that's paying for that $56.50 up there as well. Now, depending on your state, some states do allow early bar applications, some require them, and others don't, and they don't offer any discounts. So there are certain states that you only have to wait till your 3rd year, and they open their bar exam just for a few months. You need to do your application during those few months for the month that you intend to take it. So go to your Board of Bar Examiners website and look at it. Even if you can't do an early bar application and or save, I recommend you at least know what the cost is going to be so you can start putting that aside. You don't want to be in your last semester and trying to find all these fees. There is a lot of stress involved studying for the bar and trying to find a job, and this can help you through that process. Now, commercial bar courses, also, they need to be paid for mid to the end of last semester to get your books. So, for instance, we're getting ready for the July bar. The materials became available, I believe, in April or May for our students, and they had assignments starting that early. They even had assignments during the semester before officially bar prep post-graduation started. So in light of that, you need to actually have paid mid in your last semester. So you can't actually wait till you're after graduation, or else your books will be late in your materials for your commercial bar course. And again, everyone does take a commercial bar course to help them prepare for the bar. So you want that money by the last semester, essentially. Now, 1L bar application. Here's some links, and I'll click on, I don't know if I can click on it, but you'll have the link available to you that you can see. If you go to the Florida Bar's website and then you click on applications, you will see it gives you the student registration application. That is the 1L Bar application you want to be looking at. That is the one that will give you that discount as long as you timely file by that first discount. So beyond the money, why else did you file an early bar application? Well, it starts your character and fitness. So in the state of Florida, it takes about 6 to 12 months for your character and fitness to be cleared. They're checking to see if you're a moral person. They review all your employment history, your driving history. They contact prior employees. You get employers or employees. They give you references that you're reviewing. So you want to make sure that you start that early. It is a very tedious task sometimes for people who have moved quite a bit or had multiple jobs. So you start your character and fitness early, but they're also starting with that investigation. It's less stress on you because you've gotten the information already ready. But it also means that with character and fitness taking 6 to 12 months to actually clear, by the time you take the bar, you won't have any character and fitness issues. And if you do, you know that they were there and you could plan for them. So it starts that process. Often students who wait are asked questions by the Florida Bar, or may even have to have an inquiry as to an issue. They may have a hearing or something like that. And to be handling that while studying for the bar causes a lot of stress. So that starts at character and fitness, saves you money, less stress. You do your full bar application. You will be required when you do the 1L bar application to update it. So if you have a new job or you move, you will give them updates. And again, that doesn't say I'm sitting for the bar. It's the 1L application you would in your third year need to convert. CLI also becomes an option with the 1L bar application. Certain programs at our law school require a certified legal intern status. You do not automatically become a CLI when you do your 1L application, but what it does do, it gives you an opportunity to apply for certain positions that were to require a CLI status. If you were admitted into that extern or internship program, then the school could ask for
Lisa, I hope you can hear me. We just lost your audio. It was going great, and then all of a sudden we cut out. I'm so sorry, everyone. What we can try is, Lisa, if you don't mind, just log out and log back in, and we'll try that. And in the meantime, if anyone had any questions that they thought of for Melissa, we can go ahead and go back to that. Did anyone think of anything in terms of financial aid and getting that process started? I know some of you who are joining us are incoming students this fall, so hopefully your financial aid is going well. It doesn't look like there's too many questions, but Melissa, I do know that a lot of students have recently been accepted. So what kind of timelines are they looking at in receiving their financial aid award letters?
Probably within a week. Once we receive information from the admissions office of the acceptance, we notify them immediately via their email address of documents they need to submit to our office so that we can go ahead and generate that award packet for them.
Great. So those of you who've been accepted at the end of last week, you should be expecting to receive your award notice probably by the end of this week then. So about a week turnaround. That's great. Thank you, Melissa. All right. Lisa, can we hear you?
Can you hear me?
Yes. All right. Perfect.
I don't know what happened with the storm. It may have. I apologize to everyone. I'm not sure what the last day was. So I'll talk a little bit more about why you want to do that. Did you hear that? Do you know?
I think the last thing we heard was about the CLI and how some of the programs here on campus require that, and you were discussing that.
Perfect. So there's some externship or internship opportunities that give you great experience, but a lot of the government opportunities, like the prosecutor's office, the public defenders, require CLI status. So when you do your 1L application, you don't automatically become a CLI, but it makes you eligible to apply for programs or externships that we have at school. And if you're accepted and you've done this process and been cleared, our school can then require you become a CLI, and the Florida Supreme Court can then approve you. And that will give you the opportunities to actually speak in court. It's a great thing. When I was in law school, I was a CLI, and eventually it led to my first job. So it's something you want to consider. It gives you so much experience beyond getting the hassle of your bar application done. To be able to argue a motion in court or do a trial with a supervising attorney as an externship is a great opportunity. So money, stress, costs, but also that it gives you great potential opportunities. But I mentioned this earlier, when you do your 1L bar application, it starts your character and fitness process, but you do need to convert, so you will incur that additional fee of the $600 when you convert, and that's when you tell the Florida bar, yes, I want to use my laptop, and this is the administration I am going to sit for. When you do convert, there's only 2 administrations to select, so you can't do it too early, for instance. But you want to make sure you also keep them up to date. So when you move, I don't know if you heard this part, but if you move and you've done your 1L bar application or you have any job experiences that weren't listed, you would update it. So it helps financially, but it really helps with stress. Knowing these costs now, I would start putting it aside and just anticipating monthly stipends that you put away, or asking friends and family to help you in lieu of getting you a graduation gift or birthday gift or holiday gift, whatever, because it really does cause a lot of stress in the 3rd year. And knowing this, I think, is great. So I appreciate you guys putting this webinar together. And that's all I have regarding the 1L bar app and bar exam.
Great. Thank you so much, Lisa and Melissa. All of your information is extremely helpful. I hope that everyone listening today found it helpful as well. Are there any last minute questions for either of our 2 presenters? You guys can type them in, or you can turn a mic on and you can ask it out loud as well. Either way. And if you don't have anything now, that's okay. If things come up later, you can feel free to email me or your admissions counselor. And we would be happy to either try to answer the question ourselves or direct it on to one of these 2 ladies. Okay, we do have a question. For Lisa, does the school not offer a bar prep course? I know the answer, but Lisa can take it away.
The bar prep course is actually outside of school. So school gets you ready to be an attorney. Life as an attorney is different than actual bar exams. So all schools have bar exam vendors come on their site to host a commercial bar course. So you would take extra course that would be a commercial vendor, but depending on which course you choose, we either do host it on school or not. Some of these bar vendors are completely virtual, while some have locations at the school. It would be in addition, but certain vendors will use at school that we offer them a classroom to host their course. In regarding to the other question, there is a credit requirement for a CLI, but it just starts your process earlier, that you wouldn't be waiting. A lot of times students don't have that credit requirement when they do their 1L bar app. You wouldn't. You need to wait, but it means that when you were able to apply for a CLI position, you would already have your character and fitness cleared.
Great. Thank you for answering both of those questions, Lisa. Is it possible that you will not qualify for a loan? Melissa, this one's you.
Yeah, it's possible. For the graduate unsubsidized loan, it's a guaranteed loan from the federal government. So we know you're guaranteed for that loan unless you exceed it, meaning you already reach your aggregate, which is $138,500. But most students haven't reached that yet. But for the Grad Plus loan, because it is a credit-based loan, and if you have any adverse credit history, there's a possibility that you could be denied that loan. In direct lending, the Department of Education, you can appeal the decision, or they would require that you receive someone to endorse on your behalf. Okay?
Great. And I think the next question is for you as well, Melissa. Could you let us know what the average amount of financial aid is given per semester?
All right. Well, the average amount is based on the cost of attendance. So like in the previous slide that I had, it's like $34,465. We won't exceed that with financial aid. So you will apply for enough. If you're going to apply for the max up to that amount, then you'll receive a stipend of $10,951 for the fall semester. Is that what you wanted to know?
Hopefully that answers Morgan's question. I could also pull back up. I'll pull Melissa's slide back up that shows an example. All right.
Okay, so here's your tuition and fees. It's $22,365, and here I'm giving you your room and board expenses, which is living allowances. So even though it's only costing you $22,365, you can apply up to this amount in federal aid to receive that stipend of $10,951. Okay, so once your net amount of your financial aid arrives, we'll take out what you owe the school, tuition and fees, and the rest of it will be given to you to live on.
Okay, perfect. Will there be other scholarships to apply for after the first year? I'll go ahead and take this one, I guess. We do have a few scholarships at the school that you can apply to in your second and third year, and those are emailed out to current students. So once you are a student here at Coastal, you will be made aware of those opportunities. But we do also have the Dean's Merit Scholarships that Melissa mentioned in showing the breakdown of potential changes in your second and third year's finances. If you earn a specific GPA or rank in the top certain percentage of your class, you will be offered the Dean's Merit Scholarship, which would replace your incoming Governor's Merit Scholarship. So you always get the higher amount. If your incoming scholarship was more, then you get to keep that one. We do also have honors scholarships. So if you come into school with a certain GPA and LSAT score, then you're automatically placed within our Honor Society. But after your first year, you could also place within the Honor Society by earning at least a 3.0 GPA. And along with that Honor Society comes scholarships. And those can range anywhere from $25,000 on up. So significant amount of scholarships based on your academic performance in your first year. Okay, any further questions? All right, well, I'll put my final slide back up here, and if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. And like I said, I can pass it along if need be, but I do really appreciate both Melissa and Lisa. Thank you for all of your helpful information, and thank you for the rest of you for joining us. It's been great, and hopefully you can join us next time. Have a great afternoon, everybody.
Thank you.